for Sean Diddy Combs trying to stop the release of a Netflix docuseries due out today.
We have to find somebody that'll work with us that has dealt in the dirtiest of dirty business.
The series contains never-before-seen footage of Combs debating strategy with his lawyers in the days leading up to his arrest in New York last year.
I am going to let you professionals look at the situation and come back to me with a solution.
Diddy's whole world cracked this week, and nothing looks the same anymore. Leaked footage surfaced, Trump shut down any pardon talk, his own lawyer felt blindsided, and on top of that, his family reportedly packed up and headed to South Africa. This is Bad Boy Weekly Episode 3, and none of this was part of Diddy's plan. Welcome back to Bad Boy Weekly Episode 3, where we break down everything that went sideways for Diddy this past week. And this wasn't just drama, it was a full collapse. We're talking about the 50 Cent documentary mess that pulled hidden issues into the spotlight. Trump rejecting the pardon and the awkward reason behind it, plus Mike Tyson admitting he helped deliver Diddy's letter. We're also diving into the strict release conditions that leaked, along with the surprising news about Diddy's family creating distance from the situation. By the end of this video, it's clear how Diddy's own cheap decisions played a role in how bad this got. He's still sitting in a jail cell while all of this unfolds, so let's get into it. Before we go further, we're not rehashing who Diddy is or his past. Most people already know that. We're focusing only on what you came here for, starting with the biggest bombshell of the week. As we already know, the 50 Cent documentary didn't just cause damage, it kicked the door wide open and left Diddy in deeper trouble than anyone expected. And here's why it hit so hard. Remember when I mentioned Diddy hired a personal videographer? Well, once his accounts got frozen, he couldn't pay the production team at all, not even a single dollar. No checks, no transfers, nothing. That's when everything went left. The unpaid videographer reportedly turned around and sold all the raw footage to 50 Cent, every second of it, and 50 didn't waste time. He released it straight on Netflix as his own documentary. Here's the wild part. The footage wasn't cleaned up or softened. None of the bad moments were cut out. Everything that made Diddy look reckless stayed in, untouched, and the whole world got a front row seat. Now you might think that was already the worst of it, but new reports say some footage 50 got was too controversial even for Netflix. That means 50 is still holding material that could drag Diddy into even more problems, and that's what's really eating him up behind bars.
Curtis, people know about this very public, long-standing feud that you've had with Sean Combs. So what brought you to this project?
Well,
was there anything that surprised you when you were watching the footage?
No, that didn't surprise me at all.
How did you go about getting the footage, and do you know the intent of the videographer? Why?
When you're a reality star, you're so used to being able, you have a camera around you all the time, but when you have that kind of power and everything, I'm going to edit this.
And do you think that hip-hop culture was on trial as much as Sean Combs was?
Look, if I didn't say anything, you would interpret it as the hip-hop is fine with his behaviors.
This morning, never-before-seen footage of Sean Diddy Combs in the days leading up to his arrest in New York last September.
You want to put stuff in my fanny pack, King?
The exclusive video obtained by Netflix shows Combs debating with his lawyers about strategy.
Listen to me. I'm going to get off the phone right now, and I am going to let you professionals look at the situation and come back to me with a solution. No matter what nobody said. Let's just, here and there, y'all are not working together the right way. We're losing.
The footage is part of a new, highly anticipated docuseries by director Alex Stapleton and rapper and executive producer Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, titled Sean Combs, The Reckoning.
Once Diddy's team found out, they panicked. They claimed the footage was stolen, accused Netflix of using unauthorized material, and tried every legal angle to shut it down. But 50 Cent didn't budge at all. He doubled down and made it clear he wasn't backing off. He made it clear those videos were obtained legally, and there was nothing Diddy could do to stop it. Imagine how that feels, watching your own footage get flipped on you while you're completely powerless to shut it down. And this is where things really went left.
And I'm not referring to his criminal trial, which has him sitting in prison right now, but it has to do with something that happened right before he got arrested. If you've seen the Netflix documentary about Diddy, The Reckoning, which 50 Cent produced, there's some footage there that had never been seen before. This is a photographer that Diddy hired to follow him around and document his life. That footage ended up going to 50 Cent and his production company, and it's kind of the centerpiece.
Sold to them.
Yes, was the centerpiece of the documentary.
Diddy didn't just mess up with the trial, he messed up with the documentary too. The footage reportedly includes Diddy speaking with his lawyer, Mark Anafilo, and during that conversation, Diddy is heard complaining. He tells Mark they're losing, says he's unhappy with how things are going, and pushes him to fight harder and be more aggressive. But here's the part nobody expected. They weren't actually losing at all. Behind the scenes, Mark had already secured wins in parts of the case. He was doing his job and doing it well, and here's the kicker. Mark allegedly had no idea he was being recorded during that confidential call. Think about that for a second. Your own client records a private attorney-client conversation, and now the entire world hears it. People close to the situation say Mark feels completely betrayed, and honestly, that reaction makes sense. Without Mark, Diddy could be facing a much darker outcome right now. This is the same lawyer who helped keep him from a life sentence, and the trust gets repaid with a secret recording that leaks everywhere. Now let's get into the pardon situation, because this part of the story is actually wild.
A friend of yours back then, he has since found himself in some very serious legal trouble.
Yeah, that's true.
Would you ever consider pardoning him?
Well, nobody's asked. You had to be the one to ask, Peter, but nobody's asked. But I know people are thinking about it. I know they're thinking about it. I think some people have been very close to asking. First of all, I'd look at what's happening, and I haven't been watching it too closely, although it's certainly getting a lot of coverage. I haven't seen him. I haven't spoken to him in years. He used to really like me a lot, but I think when I ran for politics, that relationship busted up. From what I read, I don't know, he didn't tell me that, but I'd read some little bit nasty statements in the paper all of a sudden, you know. It's different. You become a much different person when you run for politics and you do what's right. I could do other things, and I'm sure he'd like me, and I'm sure other people would like me, but it wouldn't be as good for our country. As we said, our country's doing really well because of what we're doing. So it's not a popularity contest. So, I don't know, I would certainly look at the facts. If I think somebody was mistreated, whether they like me or don't like me, it wouldn't have any impact on me.
Guilty of. So take a look. It was racketeering conspiracy, not guilty. Sex trafficking, 2 counts, not guilty. But transportation to engage in prostitution, 2 counts, he was found guilty. Now, of course, there was damaging reputational evidence throughout the trial, including domestic violence and the tales about the freak-offs and all that. Is it true, in your view, what his lawyers are arguing, that the sentence of 4 years in prison was too much?
Does the punishment fit the crime? I think that's going to be key. So when we look at this case, we have to think about what exactly Diddy was found guilty of. He was found guilty of transportation across state lines in order to engage in prostitution. Now, the prosecution was asking for at least 11 years in prison. However, Diddy wanted him to be released right away. So when we look at the actual charges, we have to remember that Diddy now is serving 50 months in jail. And so a lot of people believe that that, in fact, is fair, while Diddy is arguing that that is, in fact, excessive.
Diddy went all the way and asked for a presidential pardon from Donald Trump. He sent a written letter, did it formally, and Trump later confirmed he received it in early January 2026. Trump even admitted that Diddy had been a friend and a strong supporter over the years, but he made one thing very clear: Diddy still has to deal with the consequences of his actions. Trump said flat out he has zero interest in granting that pardon. No hesitation, no maybe, no second thoughts. Prosecutors originally pushed for an 11-year sentence, and Diddy already caught a huge break by getting just 4 years. But somehow Diddy still feels like he shouldn't be doing any time at all and believes he deserves to walk free. The nerve is wild, but here's where it gets interesting. Mike Tyson just dropped a bombshell about how that letter even reached Trump in the first place. Tyson revealed that he personally delivered Diddy's pardon letter straight to Trump. According to Mike, a mutual friend reached out to him knowing he had a social visit lined up at the White House. They asked him to pass the letter along, and Mike agreed, even though he said the whole situation felt uncomfortable. Mike later admitted he didn't feel right being in the middle of it, but by then, the letter had already changed everything. Mike didn't want any part of this at first, but after enough pushing, he finally gave in. He basically said, "All right, fine, hand me the letter and I'll drop it off." And that decision right there explains exactly why Diddy's cheap mindset blew up in his face. Here's why this matters. The real pardon process isn't cheap at all. It usually costs tens of millions of dollars. You don't just write a letter and slide it to the president. You hire powerful lobbyists with real access, people who know who to call, who to talk to, and how to move things behind closed doors. But Diddy didn't want to spend that kind of money. He wanted a guarantee first. He allegedly told lobbyists, if you can promise me a pardon, then I'll pay. That's where he messed up. Nobody can legally guarantee a pardon. That would be selling one, and that's straight illegal. But Diddy thought he was being clever. He figured he could beat the system, save millions, and still get what he wanted. And so instead of playing it the right way, he tried to shortcut everything. He thought, why pay professionals when I can just have Mike Tyson deliver my letter for free? Trump saw right through it. He knew exactly what Diddy was trying to pull the second that letter landed on his desk. Now Trump is sitting on that letter like a trophy. He's already joked about it publicly, telling reporters Diddy asked him for a pardon. When they wanted to see it, Trump basically said he didn't need to show it. The message was already clear. This is what happens when you cut corners and try to play people instead of the system. Instead of handling things the right way, sources say Diddy's own cheap habits are a big reason he's still sitting behind bars right now. People close to the situation claim he's had a long reputation for not paying up, asking for serious work, heavy effort, and then pushing back when it's time to cover the full bill. In some cases, they say the payment never came at all. That's reportedly exactly what happened with the videographer who later sold the footage to 50 Cent. The work got done, the money didn't show up, and the footage went straight to someone else. And the same pattern shows up in his situation with Cassie. Sources say she tried to resolve things privately at first, but after delays and back and forth, she filed a federal lawsuit. Within 24 hours, Diddy reportedly settled for $20 million, showing how fast things move once pressure hits. People say this is a man who tries to negotiate everything down, no matter how serious the situation is. Now, all of that is catching up to him at the worst possible time. And it doesn't stop when his sentence ends.
Learning about the conditions of Sean Combs' release, and is this all pretty par for the course, pretty standard?
Yeah, so look, a lot of these conditions sound pretty harsh, but they're pretty standard. Things, as you mentioned, like no contact with victims, also no contact with other criminals, no access to firearms, also unsupervised, or visits, drop-in visits from probation officers at any time, mandatory employment. So many of these are standard. But what I do think is notable is the addition of required treatment programs. And it's not just one, right? It is domestic violence, but also drug abuse and also mental health. The reason why it's so notable is because we all remember the defense described this as a modern love story. And even though Combs was acquitted of the most egregious charges, it's really a message from the court saying there's really still something that is not right here. There's treatment that is required. There's issues that need to be resolved.
Can you tell us a little bit about his living conditions? Because I know that he's currently in Brooklyn, but he's actually asked to be moved to a federal facility. Why? What would that do to his living conditions?
Okay, so very specifically, he's requesting to be moved to Fort Dix, to a low security prison.
After serving 50 months, Diddy won't be walking free like nothing happened. He'll be under strict supervision with heavy conditions attached. He'll be required to complete a court-ordered domestic violence program. He won't be allowed to contact anyone connected to the case. No exceptions. Firearms and weapons will be completely off limits. On top of that, he'll have to attend an outpatient mental health program and live only in a court-approved location, and it gets even tighter. Federal authorities will reportedly monitor all of his income, and he won't be able to spend more than $600 at a time without notifying them first. Every new bank account, every money transfer over a set amount, all of it is going to be watched closely. Imagine living like that. Diddy is used to moving however he wants. Private jets, luxury trips, no limits. Now every dollar he touches is under a microscope. A lot of people think he won't handle parole well at all. They believe he's going to slip up, violate the conditions, and end up right back in a cell. Some even think he might try to leave the country once he's out, possibly relocate to Africa, renounce his U.S. citizenship, and shield whatever money he still has. And once the civil lawsuits really start rolling in, they're going to hit hard. That pressure isn't going away anytime soon. Right now, Diddy is still fighting to get out. He's selling assets fast, trying to stay afloat. He already sold his private jet just to cover legal fees, and sources say he's dealing with serious financial strain while funding appeals. Some people believe there's a reason for that. The theory is simple. If his appeal fails and he serves the full sentence, Donald Trump will still be in office when he gets out. That's when Diddy might try again. But this time, the official way, paying lobbyists, spending the real money, and playing by the rules. That plan only works if there's anything left by then. Between lawyer fees, civil cases, and non-stop expenses, the cash is draining fast. But there's something hitting Diddy harder than the money. His own family creating distance, stepping back, and separating themselves from the fallout.
Where Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa.
Moving away from the country or within the country?
Yeah, Africa. I am moving to Africa.
Is this due to pressure or?
Pressure from...
I mean, you know, the whole drama.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, that would've pissed me off. I'm pissed off,
like,
man.
hold out on
I'm pissed off, man.
I don't care about all that. I always wanted to spend some time in Africa.
Oh, for real? So where? Nigeria, Ghana?
Yeah, probably South Africa. Better living condition, better housing, overall safer to live than others.
Nigeria is great too. I got a couple of great properties in Nigeria.
Diddy's family is reportedly trying to put as much distance between themselves and this situation as possible. The shame and fallout from the 50 Cent documentary was more than they wanted to deal with, and sources say it pushed them to make a drastic move. According to reports, the family is planning to relocate to South Africa. That's how badly they want to be removed from the drama. And here's the part that really stings. Sources claim the move is being organized by Diddy's own son, King Combs, who's trying to get the family away from the spotlight. Think about that for a second. You're sitting in a jail cell fighting for your freedom, and your family is on the other side of the world trying to start fresh. That's a hard reality to face. But at the same time, people close to the situation say this didn't come out of nowhere. Diddy made his own choices, and now he's dealing with the consequences. His family is focused on protecting themselves and moving forward, even if that means creating serious distance. It's sad, but it's also how things tend to play out when everything collapses at once. Before we wrap this up, there's another situation tied into all of this that can't be ignored. The legal tension involving Jay-Z and his company Roc Nation is heating up fast. Roc Nation is currently in a legal battle with attorney Tony Busby, and this week he filed a response that's getting a lot of attention. In that filing, a Mississippi lawyer named Marcy Croft is accused of possessing confidential information and phone numbers belonging to Busby's former clients, material she reportedly had no legitimate access to. Busby fired back by pointing out that Croft has no clear explanation for how she obtained those private records, and that filing has now pulled even more eyes into this growing legal war. The only explanation being floated right now is that she was allegedly working with Roc Nation in an attempt to take down Tony Busby's law firm from the inside. The theory is that Jay-Z wanted Busby neutralized, so former clients were allegedly encouraged to sue him, possibly with financial backing tied to Roc Nation or outside legal muscle like Quinn Emanuel. But here's what keeps breaking that theory apart. Busby is still standing, his firm is still operating, he's still taking cases, and none of these alleged moves have shut him down. Jay-Z's earlier defamation claims were dismissed in court, and that was a major loss. Since then, it looks like the pressure shifted directions, but Busby keeps fighting back every step of the way. There's also an update on the Jane Doe situation. The accuser and her godmother are appealing the $119,000 judgment Jay-Z won against them. They're arguing that fraud claims shouldn't be dismissed just because anti-SLAPP laws are involved, which means Jay-Z probably won't be seeing that money anytime soon. This legal fight is far from finished. And that brings us to the end of Flow Alert for this week. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think Diddy makes it through parole without violating it? Do you think his family ever comes back? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you made it this far, make sure you like, subscribe, share this video, and hit that comment section. This is Flow Alert, bringing you the real breakdowns every week. I'll see you in the next one.